us in the family. My dad left when I was 13, and that very day, my brothers and my little sister went to the village to my grandfather and mother because there was nothing to eat at home. I stayed alone with my mother, and I was starving. There was no food, and the only thing I managed to find in the house, it was oat flakes. So I opened the cap, and it smelled terrible. But I was starving, and I put out that oat flakes and put them into meat grinder. So I managed to make some batter. There was no oil, but I had salt. So I used salt and prepared pancakes from this batter. Pancakes is too much of a word. So it was a single pancake, maybe 15 centimeters in diameter, maybe 20, I don't know. Exactly now I don't remember, but at that very moment, guests came over. I was terrified because I realized at that moment that now I will have to share this little pancake with them. Okay, anyway, I put it on the table, on the only dish we had at that moment. I cut it into 8 pieces and was waiting while guests entered the kitchen. But they didn't come. So I was surprised, I was happy. I was eating that pancake. I ate 5 pieces. It was disgusting, to tell the truth. But I ate 5 pieces and left 3 for my mother. Now I realized that no one in normal condition would have ever eaten that pancake. It stank terrible. It tasted horrible, but it was something like a culinary delight to me, because there was no other food at home, and it was the only thing I have eaten that day. It felt like heaven. Yeah, really, eating felt like heaven. Then I promised that I would never stop again. So I started a lot. But still lived half-stuffed. Meat, for example, I eat in my diet only at the 2nd course of the university, and only because of my roommates, guys from the villages on the campus. During my studies, I had 2 jobs, but I still didn't have enough money. I always asked myself, who are those people who buy cool cars, who buy expensive houses? How do they do it? So I started learning financial instruments. I began reading books written by famous authors. I began scraping some monies and saving some pennies. Nowadays, my capital is over $1 million. It protects me from pain. I had a terrible grudge against my father. He was living in another place with another family. He was doing fine. He was building a house while we, his children, we had nothing to eat at home. Nothing at all. It was painful. And hunger was really humiliating. Now I realize that money not only gives me opportunities, but it also protects me. Protects me, my family, my children. It protects me from pain, from unpleasant people, from illness, from loneliness, from discomfort, from low quality goods and services. But I understand that it doesn't protect me from betrayal. When I had the only source of income, my business, a group of my managers, they vanished away. with my customers. And then I had a fear, and I started feeling a fear that I wouldn't have money again. And I changed my attitude to financial literacy completely. So in order to be financially literate, you need to know only 3 basic concepts. The first, to save some money. The second, never to invest. And then never put all your eggs in one basket. Tell me the truth. Who has ever heard about these 3 concepts? And tell me the truth. Who do this? Who follow 3 concepts? Who follows? Okay, who follows? During last 10 years. So many people knew about this. Everyone knew, but very few people follow. So I started my project to educate people financial literacy. And I wish to share with my knowledge with so many people as it's possible all over the world. Nowadays, I managed to create passive sources of income that allows me, if I wish not to work at all, not to do anything at all. And cash flow doesn't depend on whether I work or not. I will always have money. And recently I thought whether it's possible to make all people rich. After all, there is enough money for everybody. What will the world be like if money not an object to meet basic needs of human? Okay, everyone will have traveled, bought expensive things, cars, satisfied themselves with a spa and maybe other pleasant things. And then what? We will start doing something anyway. And after all, everyone will start doing what he or she likes. And what will the world be like then, when it happens? You probably know such people who work for their own pleasure. Or maybe you know such places that are always popular. And there is the main thing. If I want to read it. And this is the main thing. When a person is inspiring by doing what he or she likes, a large amount of money will come by itself almost without effort. And then I thought, whether was it possible for me then, when I had nothing to eat, to choose this word very interesting, occupation, to find an occupation that was really inspiring and pleasant for me? Probably not, because the quantity of unqualified jobs was very limited. But even then, when I didn't have much sleeping, trying to earn at least something, I tried to find something what was really interesting and inspiring, and what gave me a room for self-development. I tried doing translations day and night. I tried doing other tasks, maybe sometimes very dull things, but in the end I always came to such kind of activity what gave me an opportunity to develop. And even in most unfavorable circumstances, a human being can find something what will be not only pleasant, but what will give him room for self-development. Now, what gives you pleasure in your life? What kind of activity you do can be well paid? Think about this, because this is the key for your being inspired by your occupation. That's your key to being rich without much effort. And of course, never forget to save some money, to invest, and never put your eggs in one basket. And then maybe the world will change. And people will be not only rich, but also happy. So thank you all. Thank you all. Bye-bye.